rumlaufen kann. 5 Days to Operation Jormungand, Turing West Albonia 4. Und wir dürfen nicht nach in den Osten und auch nicht nach Crossbell? Schade. Kriegen wir jetzt bitte die Umarmung von Alvin und Olivert. Yo. Mit welchem Grund wurde jetzt ausgefahren? Wusste Oliver so, hey, da fällt eine Kamera vorbei. Wir müssen jetzt mal das große Ding da vorne auspacken. Unser großes Rohr. Ist doch genug Platz zum Angeben, ja? Ist doch genug Platz. Da passen noch mehr Divine Knights rein. Mich würde nicht wundern, wenn Testarossa, Farmer aus. wenn Testarossa und der Paladin Knight beide noch da reinkommen. Würde mich wundern, einfach weil die halt eine direkte Verbindung zu unseren Charakteren haben. Aber ist das schön, die ganzen Charaktere alle zu sehen, aus den ersten 3 Teilen alle. Alter, ist das Ding riesig hier. Jetzt hier ist eine heiße Quelle. Guck mal, Billard würde ich auch gern spielen. Billard wäre geil. Und Billard-Mini spielen. Ich bin jetzt auch schon wieder, ich bin seit 7 Stunden live, Mann. Holy. Ich wollte eigentlich nur so, ja, so 3-4 Stunden streamen, danach noch was für die Funi machen.
Despite being a new model of ship, the system you see here largely emulates that of the previous Courageous. Our operations manual only covers the bare minimum. Should you find anything lacking, you'll have to figure it out as you go.
Understood. I'll make sure to pass it on to everyone else.
In total, it spans a length of 92 arge, a considerable step up from the previous 74 arge class. However, because the ship is so much bigger, you'll need to carefully watch the speed and engine output.
Ja, Angie ist so, ja, alles klar.
Ha! So she's a wild one, eh? Sounds to me like this girl's gonna need a bit more taming than the last one.
This terminal should give you complete command over all the ship's facilities and fire control systems. It comes equipped with anti-hacking measures, specially developed by Professors Albert and Erica Russell themselves.
Ja, ich muss auch mal gucken, weil ich cutte das ja auch auf YouTube dann zusammen. Entweder mache ich irgendwo einen richtig krassen Cliffhanger rein oder für einen unfassbar langer Part, der komplett synchronisiert ist dann tatsächlich.
You mean Mom and Grandpa made it? We should have no problems then.
Incredible. Every inch of equipment on this ship is state-of-the-art.
Fehler gefunden. Die Synchro sagt Inch. Aber das ist nicht das metrische System hier im Game. Kurt, was sind diese Inches und woher kommt du, dass du Inches benutzt und keine Reach? Kurt ist definitiv der Grandmaster. Kurt war der Grandmaster all along. Der Grandmaster wurde aus unserer Welt in die Trails of Cold, die Welt, beziehungsweise die Legend of Heroes Welt, geisekalt. Und deswegen hat er sich gerade versprochen und sagt Eden statt Reach. Wenn ihr weitere solche Wahrheiten erfahren wollt, joint meiner nicht vorhandenen Telegram-Gruppe.
And that computer's one of the Epstein Foundation's next generation models. Weren't they only just developed?
Ich glaube, da war, im Gegensatz zu der Theorie, war glaube ich sogar noch meine Campanella ist Roses Ehemann-Theorie noch glaubhafter als das jetzt gerade.
That's right. And its hull has the latest innovations in hydrodynamic engineering, courtesy of the Ruhr Institute of Technology.
Obwohl wir gerade erfahren haben, dass Campanella anscheinend nicht mal wirklich Mann ist oder sich zumindest nicht als Mann identifiziert.
Plus, it seems to be outfitted with ZCF's newest next-gen orbital engine, too.
It only gets more and more unbelievable every time I hear it. Just how did you manage to construct a cutting-edge ship like this abroad in total secrecy, without anyone finding out.
As I stated earlier, there are a great deal of individuals who helped me make this happen. Such as Mr. Gwyn here, for instance.
Hi. Du auch hier, Gwyn.
The story here goes all the way back to right after the Civil War.
Gwyn, er und Elisa, die letzten beiden Verbliebenen der Whiteford-Familie, nicht irgendwie weird drauf sind im Moment.
Considering the way it ended, His Highness decided to approach me for some advice.
Wie Campanella ist irgendwie Monkelei. Monkel. Das wäre interessant. Und quasi der aber auch wirklich Cutting Edge. Ne? Ich meine, wurde ja auch gesagt, dass er nicht altert. Du mit angedeutet, dass er nicht altert. Dass er dann quasi wirklich Top-Notch Monkelei ist. Wobei wir haben noch keine Monkelei gesehen, die so viel Magie nutzen können, ne? Von daher, mal gucken.
He had me prepare this ship for him, all in anticipation of the day when the Crimson Wings would be torn from the sky.
So that's why.
Huh. I do remember His Highness mentioning something about you being his advisor.
Still, for the construction site to be located on the Kingdom of the Birds Valeria Lakeshore. And on top of an old Ouroboros secret base to boot. Talk about a plot twist. Gab ein paar Plot-Twists, Randy, falls du es nicht mitbekommen hast. You're referring to the research facility that the Faceless constructed during the incident in Libour. I heard that after the dust settled, was handed over to ZCF to manage. The Black Workshop involved is almost all possible. Ja, gut, stimmt. It does seem like Grandpa and the others used it for some kind of research. Aber wobei, der Black Workshop hat ja aber auch Millium und Altina geschaffen. Warum sollten die Millium oder Altina schaffen? Also mein Kleiner, die waren ja... Aber nicht stimmt, mein Argument ist nicht in sich schlüssig. Ich wollte gerade sagen, mein Argument wäre, wenn die Millium und Altina auch geschaffen haben und Campanella wird definitiv vor denen geschaffen worden sein. Das ist, glaube ich, sogar in der Timeline sogar schon bestätigt. Müsste zumindest. Warum würden die dann mit Altina und Millium schwächere Varianten machen? Weil Campanella ja offensichtlicherweise unfassbar stark. Warum sollte man dann mit Millium und Altina schwächere machen? Aber dann ist mir gerade eingefallen, Millium und Altina hatten ja überhaupt nicht den Zweck, irgendwie stark zu sein. Ihre Aufgabe war ja bloß, später so schwer zu werden. Darauf wurden ja konzipiert und nicht darauf stark zu werden. Mal gucken. So not just Gwyn and Professor Schmidt pitched in, but Professor Russell and Her Majesty Alicia too. Whereas Cassius and the Crown Princess were none the wiser. Weil der Operator hier, okay, ja. You wanna fool your enemies, you gotta fool your friend first, huh? Classic. As for funding, in addition to His Highness Oliver, Gwyn and His Highness Majesty Eugene also... As for funding, in addition to His Highness, Gwyn and His Majesty Eugene also contributed for the personal holiday. Eugene weiß er, dass Oliver lebt? But perhaps the most unexpected benefactors were Father and Marcus Wagner. Indeed, quite a cunning play by those two. I imagine that keeping this from the Albereau was all in the name of avoiding the eye of the Intelligence Division. Yes, the same with Cayennes, right? Oh, er hätte nur das Schiff gesponnen. Ja, gut, stimmt, ja. And so the third wing was complete, independent of the government and the Whiteland Army. Of course, when I said we were preparing for our wing to be torn apart, we only expected they would be commandeered by the government. To be perfectly frank, the thought that they would be physically torn apart never even crossed my mind. Haha. This isn't a lauding matter for the record. Indeed, just being alive is reason enough to give thanks to Adios, even at the cost of a left eye. Your Highness, I hate to ask, but what's the prognosis? A full recovery doesn't seem to be in the cards, unfortunately. But as a musician, I'm just grateful that my hands and ears made it through in one piece. I suppose I have them to thank for that, eh? So you all you like to George in a turmoil of the whims of that phantom thief, huh? You have an unbreakable spirit, your highness. Don't sell yourself short. Passender Moment, danke DualShock. Wir haben es fast geschafft.
This is...
I underestimated them. Shara, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ein. Looks like I messed up.
Goddess, please protect my daughter.
You have 15 seconds until the hull collapses. So before then, I will offer you one final wager. A gravitational barrier will appear on the bridge for exactly 24 seconds. Let's see if you can come back from this.
Ah! Adios, help us! You gotta stay calm.
Get down and brace for impact!
Over there!
Damn! The gravitational barrier!
It's not gonna hold.
Don't give up just yet!
Da hat er wahrscheinlich seinen linken Arm verloren. Ne?
Was I a moment too late? Nay, surely a flicker of hope yet remains. Can you still be plucked from the jaws of Gehenna? Show me just how far that luck of yours will take you, my dearest rival.
Ich finde immer lustig, dass Blue Blonde sich halt wirklich als Rivale von Oliver zieht einfach. I still can't believe that our friend, the Phantom Thief, saved you all from the wreckage. Guess his parlor tricks are good for something. That's what he used to spirit everyone away in one piece. No wonder they couldn't find so much as a single body. Und genau das war meine Argumentation. On top of that, he healed his highness. Healed his highness, the crew, and even the Viscount's grave wound, didn't he? That's right, I was injured too, but somehow I made it out relatively unscathed. When the Viscount jumped in to block the hole in the barrier, couldn't even use my art to help him. I'd never felt so worthless in my entire life. Mit anderen Worten, sie hat nicht mehr genug Geld, um Tora ein neues Charakterdesign zu geben. Ich verstehe schon. I'm sorry, Laura. I dropped the ball when it mattered most. Like I've told you, Torwald, you have nothing to apologize for. Just relieved you made it out alive. I'm sure Father shares the same sentiment. Shares my sentiment. Well, if you say so. I admit, I thought Viscount Arcade more or less invincible. I was stunned, speechless to see him in that state. But for him, losing his left arm means he'll just swing twice as hard with his right. Power is but an extension of oneself, and what is a sword if not power wrought in steel? But ultimately, it's not the might of one's blade, but will and strength of spirit that decide the battle. Alles jetzt mit nicht genug Geld entschuldigen, come on. Ja, war mehr geckig gemeint. The words of his lordship from the infernal castle 2 years ago. Dann wiederum habe ich dann damit angefangen. Ja. So ridiculously cool. Okay, Edgelord. Das sagt der richtige Ash. Das sagt der richtige. Wenn jemand der Ashlord ist. Wenn Versprecher Wortspiele und Memes hervorbringen. Wenn jemand der Edgelord ist, dann ja wohl unser Ashlord. given who we're talking about, I expect he'll only emerge stronger from the experience. If that's the case, this could well become the most difficult trial we've faced yet. I'm inclined to agree. It'd be prudent for us to account for every contingency. That's also the promise we made with Lloyd, Estelle and the others. Too bad. Stimmt, die sind nicht da. Och Mann. We can't let them best us. But what exactly is Rose up to? Sorry about my grandmother. He has a way of being evasive. I definitely was a little surprised by how sudden that all was. If it involves the rivalry though, the only thing to do is go and check it out, right? Okay, genug der Wortspiele. Ren kann rennen, Bright ist Bright und Ashlot ist Ashlot. Ja, wobei der Ashlot ja eher ein Versprecher wohl war. Mehr Ladezeiten. The previous evening, after we and the others had been shown around the Courageous II, which were boarded at Prince Oliver's invitation, they began discussing what they needed to do now that the war would begin in less than a week. As they spoke, a message from a rather surprising party arrived at the conference room. Oh,
For those of you who have not yet had the honor, my name is Roselia Milstein. I am the elder of Erebonia's Hexen clan. Emma and Vita are my disciples in the magical arts. It is a pleasure to finally meet you, Prince Olivert, as well as the storied children of Crossbell and Laburl.
How do you do? Until this moment, I'd only heard of you two roommate legend. Fuck, the title's better. I've heard that you watched over the laying of Erebonia's foundation by Honor One. Is that really true? Well, I know the first, well, actually, that was my predecessor. It was Emperor Hector and Prince Dreikel, who I was best acquainted with 800 years ago. I cannot say the family resemblance is all that strong in you, but you definitely have a familiar fire in your heart. Quite an honor to hear you say so. I've heard about Roselia from Ren. 800 years old, even seeing it with my own eyes. I can't quite believe it. I've heard a few things about those of you back there as well. Glowing tales from Ragnar and Side both. Wait, what? Ragnar? For real? We haven't seen Side since... We spoke shortly before they vanished. Even I have no idea of their whereabouts now, however. That's a shame. By the sound of it, Cassius doesn't know either. Ragnar, the ancient dragon, and Side, the divine wolf. Yeah, even in her adult form, she's not looking like 800 years. Nope. Wobei, es wäre typisch Anime, wenn sie sich irgendwann opfert, und weil sie so viel Mana benutzen muss, dass quasi ihr Alterungszauber nachlässt und man sie wirklich irgendwann in richtig alt und falsch sieht. To the beast entrusted with overseeing the Septarians.
Indeed. Being sent forth by Adios, much like the holy beast of Earth. Thomas Lysander, second dominion of the Gralsritter. Estelle, Lloyd, I've heard many a rumor about your respective endeavors. As for you, Your Highness, I don't think we've had the chance to talk since you were last at the main campus.
Haha, and to think that you, a history teacher, are a dominion of the Gralsritter. I must say I was quite frustrated that I was unable to see what was really going on, despite my ties to Kevin. I see, so I guess that means you heard about us from Kevin and Reese. Es gibt eine andere Sache, die etwas überraschender ist vielleicht. Eine andere Sache, die etwas überraschender ist? Okay. And thought like you learned about us from Wazy, right? Right. We're having all of them operate outside of Erebonia at the present. They're out there. Und da kann man das mit den 800 Jahren glauben. Not sure, ob du irgendwas foreshadowen willst oder ob du auf irgendwas anspielst, was schon gesagt wurde. They're out there visiting our bows and their allies working toward the Great Twilight in secret. The 1st, 4th, 5th and 6th Anguis. Seems the enforcers who haven't come to Erebonia are also all out on operations. Looks like the intelligence division's been active in other countries too, making some pretty serious moves. Red Constellation's main regiment and the war god too. So, Uncle Sigmund is finally on the move. Yes, Arias and Rixia are responding to their actions. The same with Noel, Sergei and Dudley, isn't it? I hope they're all okay. To be honest, things are looking fairly grim. So much so that the Papal Guard has begun to act on its own and is cooperating mit Operation Mirage. Wenn schon gesagt wurde, würde ich sagen, nein, ich würde Spoiler zwar nicht zu weit, aber trotzdem. Okay. Also ein kleines Foreshadow war das. Okay, dann bin ich mal gespannt, was wir noch darüber erfahren. And cooperating with Operation Mirage. I suspected as much. Now, truly not the time for them to be going off on their own like this. Even during the Night Touch affair 200 years ago. The Papal Guard managed to make a nuisance of themselves. For the time being, though, let's focus on the main issue at hand, the rivalry of the Seven and... So it is unclear now. It seems the announcement that Operation Jormungandr and Operation Mirage will commence 6 days from now is connected to the spread of a disturbance in the spirit veins. What? Wait, does that mean it was influenced by today's events? The boss moving out might be related to. Yes, as well as my father, the Steel Maiden and the others. This probably involves Mother and Sharon too. And Maria Bell. She seems to be working with RF somehow. There are likely many causes, but we now have a different grave situation on our hands. Meanwhile, spirit veins across the entire continent have begun activating. It's no longer limited to the Empire. Wait, what the hell? The disturbance was initially a gradual ripple outward from the Empire, but it seems to be matching the coming war in its scope. Right, that's the Great Twilight at work. They need it in full swing for the rivalries to even be possible. I imagine even now they're preparing for the ultimate reformation of the Great One. If only there was something we could do. Musik wird leiser.
The solution is simple. Use this ship to whatever end you see fit. The rivalry of the Seven appears to be the true objective behind this plan of the Chancellor and the Gnomes. That much we can safely assume. And yet, it is this very same objective that may be our sole hope in preventing the disaster to come.
You for real here? It's true that ever since this curse was unleashed, it's felt as though everything's being guided by some unseen force. With that in mind, it'd be near impossible to try and prevent the war altogether.
That's probably why Dad and Chloe opted for Operation Mirage instead. But while we're on it, what exactly is this curse anyway?
We know full well the sort of strife a Septarian can cause. We saw so ourselves during the incident in Liberl a few years back. There, we had to come face to face with the same issues our ancestors contended with 1,200 years ago.
It was the same for us. We fought back against a centuries-long plan to artificially recreate a Septarian. One that had been lost due to mankind's own hubris.
Yeah, I almost made a really big mistake back then. But then Lloyd and the others came and made everything all right again.
In Liberl, a ring that could grant any heart's desire. And in Crossbell, a tree that could rewrite destiny itself. Each one a blessing, yet each one a curse. But in spite of that, Estelle, Lloyd, and everyone else faced them head-on. They didn't lose heart even once.
Therefore, discovering the truth is your responsibility now. It's not something Estelle, or Lloyd, or even the rest of us can accomplish. Only you, Class 7 of Thor's Military Academy.
The Empire's facing threats both on its surface and behind the scenes. And you're no strangers to kicking tail on either of those fronts. I can't think of a more tenacious bunch out there. The way I see it, you guys are the only ones who can do this.
It's up to us then.
Oh, die Szene zwischen Wien und Elisa in den North Highland, die war richtig schön.
Naturally, the Courageous 2 has its own missions to see to. We must travel around the country helping people and gathering allies. Even so, I have no doubt that we can still serve as your wings of passage. More so with the Merkaba out of commission. After all, the difference in size should be more than enough to fit, say, 2 Divine Knights and 4 Panzer Soldats?
Olivert.
You've put so much thought into this. We appreciate it.
Ja, das war sie doch, aber Elisa mein Bild mit. Ja, also sie ist schon menschlich, aber das war der erste Moment, wo sie wirklich so, ich sag mal, ihre Fassade so ein bisschen geknackt ist. Da war so zack und Fassade weg. Da hat man mal von dort an konnte man hinter ihre Fassade gucken.
Then Thor's Military Academy's Class 7 would be honored to take you up on that offer, Your Highness. We'll do everything we can to assist you in your efforts as fellow members of the Radiant Wings.
We'll help too. It's only fair after all you've done for the branch campus students.
If you ever need someone to make that ship purr, I'm your gal.
Fabulous! Delighted to have you. You see, we've been rather lacking in the crew department.
Well, I sure as hell ain't sitting this one out. What kind of instructor would I be otherwise?
Count me in too. I mean, we're finally all back together again.
Like we said, we're gonna be off doing our own thing, but we'll still be helping out.
Same with us. We'll be catching a ride on the Bobcat too after we're done here.
Now that you mention it, you did both say you'd be working separately.
Yeah. The plan is to cover Eastern Erebonia, North Ambria, and Jirai.
You mentioned getting in touch with HQ in Le Mans. Guess that means you guys are heading out too, huh, Shara?
We are. Though we won't be leaving the ship until tomorrow.
Sarah, Fee, you guys got things covered here, yeah?
Of course. When have we ever let you down?
Call us if you need anything, okay?
I guess this is goodbye for now then, huh?
Yeah. We've got some stuff to take care of back in Crossbell.
Don't worry. We'll be seeing each other again before you know it. In the meantime, let's give this our all.
Yeah! We got this, Yuna!
Right!
Seems like we'll be able to divide things up by region then. You should be able to just leave everything with the Merkaba Unit 8 up to Rosine, guys. I'll be arranging for its repairs at a nearby location. I really am in your debt, Thomas. Rosine, you too. Thank you. No worries, please look after everyone. It will not be easy, but our shred of hope has come into view. The time has come for me to undergo my final undertaking. Grandmother? What do you mean, final undertaking? Listen well, children of Class 7. As noted, the spirit veins throughout the land are activating. They are disordered as if they've never been before. The same can be said for the shrine, the stages for the rivalries. This includes the Lunar Shrine, the only shrine the witches have overseen since ancient times. The Lunar Shrine, isn't that close to Mesante? Yes, it is the location of the reflecting pool, and generation after generation of wandering witches have watched over it. This pool reflects the genuine truth, and it is believed to be connected to the origin of the Black Records. I didn't expect to hear those mentioned here. Yes, I myself was just told about it the other day. I suggest anyone interested in the real truth behind the curse to come. Swear on my true name, I shall provide the answers to your doubts, rest assured. A trial for everyone in Class 7 is what's needed here. Only Celine is left, yes? I'm going to need you to take your human form, Celine. Huh? A grandmother? Ihr wahrer Name? Sie arbeitet gut mit der Kirche. Ihr wollt mir jetzt aber nicht sagen, dass Rosalia Alios ist, oder? Ich meine, die haben ja schon mit der Kirche vor 800 Jahren zusammengearbeitet. Und vielleicht hatten sie damals noch keine Gottheit und haben dann Rosalia ihre Gottheit Alios anerkannt, also dass sie auch Alios heißt, und hat sich dann umbenannt im Laufe der Zeit. Rosalia Alios. Ja. Ich meine, es würde passen zu dem, wegen ihr wahrer Name, er wurde noch nicht genannt, dass die Wahrheit des Fluches Und dass du gesagt hast, es gibt noch eine andere Sache, die überraschender ist. We thought the lunar shrine was a dead end, but there was more to it after all. This will be a trial for the entirety of Class 7. I'm reminded of our adventures in the old schoolhouse 2 years ago. Oh, you mean where everyone first met Valamor? Yeah, and then that crazy go-nuts corridor appeared at the end. Reverie Corridor. Knowing what we know now, I think that place is yet another sort of shrine. I don't know what my grandpa's intentions are, but we should prepare ourselves for anything. Crying out loud, why am I? I'm not even part of Class 7. Oh, come on, Celine. Natürlich bist du Part von Class 7. Just admit it already, Celine. You're one of us, whether you like it or not. Danke, Machias. This will be the first time we've seen your human form since the Black Workshop, huh? Ah, to gaze upon both Celine's lovely figure and the reflecting pool in the same day. What fortuitous timing. Prince Oliver is a furry? Okay, once everyone's done their little tour around the Courageous 2, we can head for the Lake Gala. It would probably be wise to land out on the water to put a little distance to yourself and miss something. Learning to switch between the silent navigation and optical camouflage mode is going to be critical here. Understood. Things are starting to heat up. Next, our plan is to head ashore, with each group making the approach from the target location. Fortunately, Stelloid and the others are already a step ahead of us gathering intel. I'm sure they'll have a hit on something useful by the time you get out. We'll be expecting good news, guys, but seriously though, take care of yourself out there. Right, that goes for you too. Means so much to know you've got our back. Class 7, it's time to make sure your preparations are set. We'll need every pair of hands who can get around the ship, so those of you in a position to pitch in, please so do. Do so, absolutely, Instructor. Makes sense, even with everyone from the branch campus here, this is a pretty huge ship. Right, it's probably best to make one more round, just to be sure. Darf ich jetzt rumlaufen? Act 3, Seekers of a Dawn. The dawn of a new era. Das ist deutliche Stufe größer als die Merkaba. The Courageous 2 is a newly constructed ship, but something about it feels nostalgic. Ja, es sieht halt exakt aus von innen wie die Courageous. Maybe I'll do one final sweep around the floor myself prior to departure. Alright, I need to find everyone going ashore and wish them luck again. Each floor has an elevator that you can use to move on the other floors. You can select floors that you have previously visited via the quick travel menu. Etage 4 ist Computer, to request und so weiter, Trainingsraum, Combat Tray. Oh, gibt das auch wieder, okay. Da sind im zweiten Etage sind Läden und die Cafeteria, ein Medical Office, gibt die Orbital Factory und EX Orb. Außer das Geld von the... Achso, die Requests sind auch... Ach. Musey, Aurelia, Schmidt, Oliver, Scherer, Mueller, Torber, Victor, Lecter. Wie viele noch? So, aber versteht man dadurch. When she formed the Viceland army, Musey was ready to give everything. However, Radiant Wings have given her hope. Was prepared to die in order to fulfill the Viceland army's plans, but survived thanks to Prince Oliver's timely arrival. Schmidt suddenly reappeared, now with the government. He seemed to be helping the rivalries, but what are his true goals? Ja, liebes Spiel. Seine wahren Ziele habt ihr schon oft genug offenbart. Er macht einfach das, was er als interessant erachtet. Und er wird anscheinend, seine letzte Tat wird etwas Gutes sein, sonst würde er wahrscheinlich nicht unter Allies stehen. A prince of Erebonia who was presumed dead, but made a shocking return, founding the Radiant Wings as the third pair. An A-rank racer also known as the Silver Streak, she helped Estelle resolve the crisis caused by the Liberal Orbital shutdown. Kurt's half-brother, he was close friends with Oliver and served as both the prince's bodyguard and aide. A bracer highly skilled with orbital arts, worked for one of the few branches left in Erebonia and often helped Prince Oliver. Was sie sind? Lecter, responding to the pleas of old friends Lucy and Chloe. Lecter agreed to attend a reunion for Janus graduates someday. The Radiant Blade Master lost his arm and was forced to do the curse's will by fighting to set up the rivalries. Ach, Koppergeochai. Na, gucken wir erstmal hier rein. Mit euch redet man nicht. Aber mal eine Frage an dich. New Model ist. Okay. Also, da du ja schon wusstest, dass Oliver lebte, was dachtest du dir, als ich im letzten Stream gesagt hatte, dass Oliver wahrscheinlich lebt und die komplette Theorie dargelegt habe dazu und es im Endeffekt sogar genauso erklärt wurde, wie ich es mir erklärt habe. Die haben einfach keine Körper gefunden, also sind sie nicht tot. Wurde ja sogar hier angebracht. So, the strategy conference room and training room are on this floor. The fourth floor contains the conference room and training sector, as well as a recreation area, lounge and bathing facilities. The training room cannot be used yet, but it appears to provide a good variety of combat training. Some people sometimes meet up in the bathing area and washing up will restore HP, EP and CP. Bin froh, dass es kein PP gibt. Okay, hier ist Instructor Meeting. Ihr habt hier Spaß, ist auch gut. Ja, hab eigentlich das schon sagen, weil das so richtig, aber ich durfte ja nicht. Ja, gut. Man-Shower-Room. Ich finde aber, Wien sollte einfach hier jetzt reinplatzen. This looks like the manned bathing area. The piece created only a house. Guess it's just one benefit of a larger ship. And we have a trial at the Lunar Shrine, where the reflecting pool is. I'd probably better go ahead and wash up now. The sign already gave me permission to use it, so I might as well head in, right? Wow, there's separate facilities for women and men. They really went all out on the changing area. Alright then. Is that you, Ian? Oh. Es ist eher damit gerechnet, dass wir Oliver haben und mit ihm mehr reden. Hey, Elliot, Marcus. Guess we all have the same idea. Yeah, we were just trying to get a handle on the ship's function, so it seems like a good time to go wash up. Mind if we join you? Does seem pretty spacious after all. Yeah, of course. Wanna head in then? This is pretty amazing. Wow, this is like a full-scale bathhouse. It's almost too lavish. Could it even get any more luxurious than this? Was Professor Schmidt that designed the ship? Him and Professor Russell from LeBeau seem to be one of Professor Epstein's 3 main disciples. Ich habe mich allerdings selbst, bevor ich die japanische Version gespielt habe, gespoilert. Ich wollte es nicht wahrhaben, dass Oliver wirklich tot sein soll. Nur erst mein Let's Play der japanischen Version mit englischen Untertiteln gesehen. Ja gut. Das wusste ich nicht, wie man vielleicht an meiner Reaktion vorhin gemerkt hatte. Ich hatte natürlich meine Theorie, aber dadurch, dass ich die Theorie hatte und am Endeffekt recht lag, hat meine Reaktion nur befeuert. This may have been one of his suggestions, since he seemed to be pretty well acquainted with His Highness. Peter's grandfather, right? Huh. I could see that happening, for whatever reason. I see you weren't the first to come up with this idea. Ich will nicht sagen, Elliot, aber deine Muskeln sind ziemlich unterwältigend im Gegensatz zu allen anderen. Guys and Crow too. So every single one of us wound up here. Looks like we're all of one mind. It's not like there isn't enough room for all of us to squeeze in, and our first bath on the ship should be a bonding experience, right? Jeder Connoisseur von Yaoi denkt jetzt so, oh, Gachigasm. Beyond the skies, how far we've come. Yes, it does feel like we've come very far. I know what you mean. Kind of surprised to see everyone here like this. But crying out loud, why the hell are you getting so mushy? I mean, we're on a brand new cutting edge ship here. You gotta get more excited, man. That's why we're all here. Let's get talking. The feels you have better. Time to air out your dirtiest jokes and fetishes. But why on earth would we? Absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason at all we should participate. Come on, Ko. We're not students anymore. Wait, Ko never graduated. Maybe we should consider him a repeat student. Ich meine, bevor ich geguckt habe, habe ich auch gedacht, das kann nicht sein, dass er das nicht mit einbezogen hat. Er hat es laut eigener Aussage tatsächlich nicht in Betracht gezogen, was ich nach wie vor nicht glauben kann, weil er eigentlich ein sehr guter Gegenspieler von Osborn ist. Er kennt ihn und sollte wissen, wie er... habe ich auch gedacht, das kann nicht sein. Ja, gut. No. Hey, who gives a shit about that? It's time to take it off, guys. Pretty damn sure Gaius will be the winner, but you never know, some guys like Elliot. Also, dass die physikalisch weg waren. Ja. Pretty... Quo will ein Schwanzvergleich, really? Whoa, what the hell are you saying, Quo? Quo, this clearly isn't a dignified conversation. Yeah, what if a girl was sitting nearby and overheard you say something like that? But would respectfully behavior be in character for any of us? I'm just gonna take in the scenery and enjoy the water. Das war eine lustige Szene. Ich kann hier reingehen, um meine CP zu erhöhen, wenn ich dusche? Okay. Ich frag mal nicht warum. Jo, Freddy.
Hey, what can I get you today?
Okay, die Magic Kissy.
Come on, give it a try. You've got good taste. Come on, give it a try. What can I get you today? Come again.
Muss ich das Gespräch muss ich verfolgen. Yo, hello, Instructor. Hey guys. I heard we two knew each other from way back. We both grew up in Jirai. It must be nice for Stark to finally see an old friend again. Sorry I didn't mean to interrupt. No, by all means, come join us. Is that alright with you, Crow? Sure, too much nostalgic talk makes me uncomfortable anyway. Besides, I gotta ask Oreen here about how you're doing at the academy. What do you say, Oreen? My boy Stark giving you any trouble? I've heard he's kind of a big shot in the combat logistics team. Real impressive, given how much of a crybaby he used to be. Crybaby, huh? That happened when I was 8 years old. I've changed a lot since then. Und doch hat Oliver tatsächlich eher durch Glück überlebt. George, ja gut. Ja gut, klar, aber ohne Glück, ja. No. I mean, I should hope so. Honestly though, I think you've even grown in time since I last saw you. I hear that after you left Crossbell, you ended up helping to complete the Courageous too. That's right, Becky got in contact with me and told me what was going on. Huh, well, you always were pretty sharp. Good at keeping secrets too. She made a good call bringing you in, especially since you had an idea of what Juna and her pals were up to. Hell, you even managed to get a hold of a lot of stuff about C way back when. Damn man, it's almost creepy how good you are at this stuff. Speaking of C, do you still have the mask you wore back then? If you don't mind, I'd like to take a look at it. Second that, it's been a while. Oh, you guys just making fun of me now? Come on. Ich hätte gerne die Maske von Core als Kostüm für ihn. Oh nein, da unten will jemand Vantage Master spielen. Wer will mit mir spielen? Laura? Oder... Ne, Duvali, okay. Ja, die will ich gerade mal noch nicht stören. Das mache ich später. Mache ich alles beim nächsten Mal, rede ich mit denen alle. Ich Ich will erstmal einmal einen Grund haben. Ja, stimmt schon, aber wenn man bedenkt, wie klug und besonnen er vorgeht, ist quasi ein Anfängerfehler, nicht an die Möglichkeit eines Attentats zu denken. Ja gut, ich glaube, das war dann eher so ein bisschen das Problem, dass Oliver dann ein bisschen doch sehr an das Gute glaubt hat. Ja gut. Oder er ist halt einfach humble, er will humble sein. This floor contains exits from the ship or to the deck. Seems we've got a cafeteria, a sick bay, a reference room and some stores here too. Shop and multi-purpose sector, ja. Various written material can be set in the reference room, black record. Okay. Ja gut. Also sie haben auf jeden Fall nicht gespart an Einkaufsmöglichkeiten von den Dingern hier. Alter, wollen die viele mit mir reden, Mann. Hier ist Margarita, ja. Was du von mir willst, weiß ich ja schon. Ach doch, die Alumni sind doch noch da. Okay, ich dachte, die wären weg. Ich dachte, die wären vom Schiff schon runter. Warte mal, Ada? Ada und Putz, was macht ihr denn hier? Hey, mal,
Did you need something?
Okay, die hat nur Ingredients, alles klar.
See you again.
Und Jingo? Das erklärt, wo sie nach einer Weile hin
Wanna
war.
buy something? Come on, wanna buy something?
Fresh grapes and soup for pancakes, ja. Da kann ich mich irgendwann shoppen.
Wanna buy something?
Okay, ich muss ganz schön viel Geld anscheinend für neue Waffen ausgeben.
Come on, buy some more.
Oh, stimmt, das ist die Elementenform. Sehe ich gerade erst. Das hat sich hier eigentlich noch jemand hinzugefügt? Nee, ne. Wird auch wahrscheinlich nicht irgendwie überraschend noch unten jemand hinzugefügt. Ja, ich würde eigentlich ganz gerne bei der Night Girl, really, kommt jeder weiß ja, was Becky ist. Oh, gar Vorderdeck ist sie, okay. Läuft hier hinten auch noch jemand rum? Kyrie und wie hieß du nochmal? Wayne, genau. Wayne interessiert. Ja. Moment. Nein, neue Spieler wissen nicht. Ja, gut. Okay. Patrick. Viel Erfolg. Ich gönn dir, Patrick. Wenn das aus euch beiden wird, gönn ich dir. Gönn ich Patrick einfach. Patrick X Elise. Gönn ich ihn. Ja, gut. Ich habe die Rechnung ohne Wien gemacht, ja gut. Aber irgendwann wird er jemanden an Elise ranlassen müssen quasi. This floor contains the hold and the workshop. We'll be spending a lot of time here. Ship hold, ja. Alles klar. Ist hier vielleicht auch die eine, wie hieß sie? Oh, die einfach nur verrückt nach Kunst war. Ranlassen. Really, Farmer. Das wird immer schlimmer mit dir. Ja. Wien, how the heck hast du ihn erkannt? Ich meine, er sieht halt komplett einfach nur aus wie ein random NPC. Wie hast du ihn erkannt? Es gibt literally hunderte weitere Personen, die exakt aussehen wie er. Pixel zu Pixel. Wie hast du exakt ihn erkannt? Plot Twist, am Ende ist das Kanonende nicht Wien Alisa, sondern Wien X Mechanic Peyton. Emir. In Wahrheit ist Wien nämlich gay und hat sich einfach ihn richtig verguckt und warum auch immer, er erkennt ihn, er spürt die Vibes, wenn er ihm näher kommt. Ja, ein neues Master. Ja, mit deinem Telegram. Ja, Oberon. Schon auf Level 8. Oh. Hat schon mal 700. Ja, das... Ich habe ganz gut Geld.
Come back soon. Yes.
Ja gut, viel Upgrade kann ich ja gerade. Kostet das zu viel oder geht das einfach nicht? Das geht einfach nicht. Okay. Alter, Tina kann ich jetzt veralten. Du Kacke, ey, wie viele... Ich muss irgendwann Sepiten farmen. Wie viel fehlt der da noch? Ich dachte, ich hätte das schon viel geschafft. Oha.
Come back soon.
Storage. Das kann ich abstellen selber, ja gut. Ja, ich dachte nur, dass vielleicht Celine mittlerweile zu einem, ich sag mal, normalen Charakter geworden ist, weißt du? Oh, damit bin ich einmal über das gesamte Schiff gelaufen. Und damit haben wir auch gerade tatsächlich, leider nicht, tatsächlich zufälligerweise genau die 8-Stunden-Marke überschritten. Und ich würde sagen, wir haben jetzt 1:45. Das war ein Ritt heute. Das war wirklich ein Ritt. Ich bin jetzt aber auch fertig. Deswegen, ich würde sagen, für die das Video schauen, vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen, für die letzten paar. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat oder die anderen, lasst gerne einen Daumen nach oben, abonniert den Kanal, um die weiteren Folgen zu verpassen. Ja, wenn ihr das Video hier seht, ist das Projekt wahrscheinlich schon seit einem halben Jahr fertig abgedreht auf Twitch. Schaut also auf Twitch vorbei, wenn ihr weiter sehen wollt, unbedingt. Und nicht nur täglich immer nur eine halbe bis Stunde sehen wollt. Ja, wie gesagt, schaut auf Twitch vorbei, Link in der Beschreibung. Und so weiter. Raspo, vielen Dank wieder, dass du jetzt wie lange dabei warst. Ich glaube, jetzt fast 7 Stunden, glaube ich, warst du wieder dabei. Vielen Dank. Und das war ein spaßiger Ritt und epischer Ritt mit dem Radiant Wing. Auf jeden Fall. Und ja, ein bisschen mehr Reiten mit der Radiant Wings werden wir das nächste Mal. 5 Stunden. Okay, dann 5 Stunden. Trotzdem, lange. Vielen Dank, dass ihr zugeguckt habt. Auch für die, die das hier auf Twitch eventuell nachschauen, weil keine Ahnung warum. Zum Beispiel, vielleicht seid ihr fürs Video aufmerksam geworden. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und dann, ja, schönen Abend noch, ne? Ciao, ciao.